Basic conversations in Spanish. The building blocks to a conversation. We are going to talk about some of the essentials or building blocks for having a conversation in Spanish. Greetings is the first one. Greetings are often the very start of a conversation. Like in English, you will want to use different greetings depending on the time of day and the person you are speaking with, whether it's a friend or an acquaintance. Our first greeting is an informal one. Hola, hola. Next, we have three options for formal greetings. The first one is to be used during the morning. Buenos dias, buenos dias. The second, to be used in the afternoon. Buenas tardes, buenas tardes. And the third, to be used at night. Buenas noches, buenas noches. Those are the greetings. Next is our introductions. When meeting someone new, it is necessary to ask for their name and introduce yourself. After sharing names, it is polite to say something like, nice to meet you. An informal way to do this would be to ask, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? And respond by saying, Me llamo. Me llamo. For example, I would say, Me llamo Señora Gessner. Then I could ask the question again, ¿Cómo te llamas? To ask for their name, or I could simply respond, ¿Y tú? ¿Y tú? Which means, and you? After both sharing our names, we could each say, Mucho gusto, which means nice to meet you. Mucho gusto. A formal introduction, on the other hand, would be to ask, ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? And to respond the same, Me llamo. For example, Me llamo Señora Gessner. And then I could ask the question again, ¿Cómo se llama? For their name, or I could simply respond, ¿Y usted? Which means, and you, but is more formal. And then we would each end by saying, Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. The next part of our conversation is asking how are you doing or feeling. Asking someone how they are doing is another essential for basic conversation. Again, there are a couple of different options depending on how formal you would like to be with someone. An informal way to ask how someone is doing is to ask, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Or if you're really familiar with someone and you want to be informal, you could ask, ¿Qué tal? Or ¿Qué pasa? That would be more like, what's up? The way you answer this, there are several different ways, depending on how you're doing or feeling. The ones underneath the smiley face are positive feelings, bien, muy bien, super, and fantástico or fantástica. Under the middle face, we have several options, así así, más o menos, regular, and normal. These are when you are feeling okay. And under our final face, we have mal, muy mal, terrible, and horrible. These would be negative feelings. A formal way of asking how someone is doing would be to ask, ¿Cómo está? And the responses are the same, estoy, and then fill in the blank with how you are doing, bien, así, así, mal. Of course, there are many more options depending on how you're doing or feeling. Here are some more to extend your vocabulary. These can be answers to either questions, ¿Cómo estás? O ¿Cómo está? Aburrido or aburrida mean bored. Alegre and feliz mean happy. Cansado, cansada mean tired. Contento, contenta mean happy. or content. Enamorado or enamorada mean in love. Enfermo and enferma mean sick. Enojado, enojada mean angry. Furioso, furiosa mean furious. Nervioso, nerviosa mean nervous. Ocupado, ocupada mean busy. Preocupado, preocupada mean worried. Tranquilo, tranquila mean relaxed. And finally, triste means sad. You'll notice on many of these, they end with an O or an A. If you are a boy and you are talking about yourself, or you are talking about a boy, the feeling should end in O. However, if you are a girl and talking about yourself, or if you are describing a girl, the feeling should end in A. For example, aburrido, you should use if I'm talking about a bored boy. And I would use aburrida if I am talking about a bored girl. Finally, we end our conversation by learning how to say goodbye. Saying goodbye is often how people end conversations, and it is a key element of a basic conversation. Informal ways to say goodbye include ciao, hasta luego, which means see you later. Hasta mañana means see you tomorrow. And hasta luego. Apparently we have it again. Ciao, hasta luego, hasta mañana. A formal way to say goodbye would be to say adios, adios. That brings us to the end of our basic conversations, which include hello, what's your name, how are you, and goodbye.